prosper from the opportunities, and there are enormous opportunities of AI. These commitments are real and they're concrete. They're going to help industry fulfill its fundamental obligation to Americans to develop safe, secure, and trustworthy technologies that benefit society and uphold our values and our shared values. Let me close with this. We'll see more technology change in the next 10 years or even in the next few years than we've seen in the last 50 years. That has been an astounding revelation to me, quite frankly. Artificial intelligence is going to transform the lives of people around the world.
Federal government in the District of Columbia and throughout the United States and its territories, and possessions until sunset on August 30th, 2021, in honor of the victims of the senseless acts of violence in Kabul.
Folks, be sure to stay until the end of this video to find out if President Biden will do his job and send out more stimulus relief. Now, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York is one of the fighters in Congress, asking for more stimulus relief from President Biden. Now, the Congressional Progressive Caucus held early discussions on whether to push for a renewal of unemployment benefits. After all, folks, they are set to expire on September 6th. Now, this may be an opening for them to leverage their influence and obtain extra federal aid for many Americans. Now, some Democratic lawmakers are raising the alarm over the end of crisis unemployment benefits. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said, "What we have right now, residents. The Connecticut governor has recently held a news conference to announce a new budget proposal that he will present to the General Assembly this month. This proposal will include a plan to increase Connecticut's earned income tax credit from the current rate of 30% to the federal rate of 40%. Increasing the rate will provide an additional $45 million in state tax credits to approximately 200,000 qualifying low-income people. Above the amount they are currently receiving under the program, people can get a lot more. Families will generally receive 95% of all the earned income that the tax credit dollars creates. And this is just one of the several tax relief measures that Governor Lamont will include in his upcoming budget proposal. Early this month, he announced it will include a plan to restore the pass-through entity tax credit to its original level, enabling small business owners to save money by claiming a credit that's even larger than the returns. The governor plans to announce additional tax relief measures, including those targeted towards the middle, lower class workers in the coming days, everybody. And key economic indicators such as retail sales and historic job gains are painting the picture of a robust economy that shows few signs of slowing down. But smaller than expected drop in January inflation has some economists worried that the Fed is going to prolong its interest rate hikes, which could tip the economy into recession that pulls millions of people out of work. That's not good, folks, because the CPI, a key gauge of inflation, has fallen for several months in a row, dropping to 6% annually in January, and markets had been expecting the CPI to land at around 6%, cueing a chorus of economists who want the Fed to press ahead with its rate hikes. While the Fed says it's pursuing a soft landing, meaning lower inflation without a serious recession, it expects the rate hikes to boost the unemployment rate by at least a percentage point, if not by a percentage point, then by 2%. And I want to see every member of my community receive the help that they so desperately need. So folks, it means a lot to me if you could subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family. Now, the Senate just passed a $35 billion bill to strengthen states' water infrastructure on a bipartisan 89-2 vote. And the bill was supported by both Democrats and Republicans in the Senate. The only two senators to vote against the bill were Republican Senators Mike Lee and Ted Cruz. Multiple senators said the Drinking Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Act would foster economic growth, build climate-resilient infrastructure, and help ensure that all Americans have access to clean, safe water. The bill would allocate billions of dollars to upgrade drinking water and wastewater infrastructure projects across the United States. This is awesome news, everybody, for the millions of Americans that do not have consistent access to clean drinking water. Republican Senator Shelley Moore told NBC, passing this bill in a bipartisan way, like we did today, shows the American people that their elected officials in Congress can work collaboratively together on infrastructure. So yeah, guys, the passing of this bill does mean that Democrats and Republicans could work together and pass a fourth stimulus bill with a fourth stimulus check and a $200 increase in your Social Security benefits. But everybody, there's still a lot of work that must be done. This past Sunday, several Republican lawmakers made it clear that they were not satisfied with President Biden's proposed $2.3 trillion infrastructure bill, as members of the Biden administration advocated for the measure as a necessary investment, multiple GOP lawmakers remain skeptical of the infrastructure's bill provisions. Now guys, Republican Senator Bill Cassidy criticized the proposed bill as being spread too widely across the country to be effective. Bill Cassidy is a GOP lawmaker currently leading efforts to reach a compromise with Democrats. The senator said, if you want to fix roads and bridges, come where Republicans already are. If you're talking about spending hundreds of billions of dollars on public sector unions, we're far apart. According to CNBC, government officials said that this is an important move for the entire country, and the billions of investments are worth it. Biden said he would pay for this by increasing tax on wealthy Americans. But do you guys think that this is a good idea? Let me know in the comments below. According to the White House, the tax increase is contained in the two economic recovery packages, would fully pay for the investments over the next 15 years. But Biden has promised throughout his campaign that he would limit any tax hikes to people with incomes above $400,000. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said, the president remains committed to his pledge from the campaign that nobody making under $400,000 a year will have their taxes increased. Jen Psaki also clarified that the $400,000 threshold applies to families, not individuals. So guys, individuals who make $200,000 and up could be affected if they are married to someone who earns the same amount. Psaki said that Biden's tax plan will focus on ensuring that corporations and wealthy individuals pay their fair share of taxes. Now guys, new tax on the wealthy could help pay for infrastructure and other priorities. But whether Biden can stick to that $400,000 campaign promise remains to be seen. President Joe Biden definitely needs to keep his promise. Progress on annual government spending bills. On the Senate floor, Chuck Schumer said that he plans to sit down with Democratic lawmakers later this week to discuss the state of negotiations. That's done to pass a government bill within the next few weeks. So it would be really crazy if the government did shut down, and even if it was just a couple of weeks. Government shutdowns cause the disruption of government services and programs. It's even if lawmakers fail to pass an annual new government spending bill. The SSA, which is the Social Security Administration, has a contingency plan that would help the agency continue to operate, even in the event of a government shutdown. Lawmakers have until February 18th to reach an agreement on spending for fiscal year 2022, which could begin in October under the previous year's temporary continuing resolution passed last month. Under the previous year's spending levels, if Congress fails to pass a spending deal for fiscal year 2022 and instead opts for a continuing resolution, it will mark the third time that Congress had to resort to such measures since spending negotiations began last year. For homeowners who have fallen behind on the mortgages in the country, well, there is some support available to help you pay off things like property tax, insurance bills, and your mortgage. Specifically for anyone in California, there is a new California Mortgage Relief Program, which will offer support of up to $80,000 to deal with the areas that have been hit hardest. Sources told Newsweek that the crisis has left many California homeowners struggling to cover their mortgage costs. The program is designed to help low to moderate income Californians who have lost their jobs or experienced financial hardships due to the crisis and fallen behind on their payments to get caught up and start fresh. The California Mortgage Relief Program is funded by a $1 billion grant from the federal government, which put aside $10 billion for mortgage assistance in March as part of the American Rescue Plan. Then the money was split up between the Treasury Department, depending on each state.